Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426 and it has been a while, but we are back, and today we have the review of the P-Bandai exclusive or P-Bandai exclusive HD Dark Dagger L. So basically I believe we have reviewed the Dagger HD Dagger some time ago, I think 1 or 2 years ago, and then this is basically a P-Bandai version variant of the dark version as well. So the unit, as far as I know, is also another attempt of mass producing in higher numbers. So they changed a few things from the previous 105 Dagger, made it a little bit cheaper here and there, and then they made a bunch. So because apparently on the wiki they mentioned this meant for a group battle thing. So they wanted to overwhelm their enemies in numbers, hence this. Alright, so once again, because since I moved out from my parents' house, once again, I do not have the regular version, so there won't be any comparisons. So this review might, end up a little bit simple. Anyway, let's get on to the review right away. So, as usual, let's go over components and what you're supposed to get. So, first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously the mobile suit itself. Now, equipment-wise, you really get some basic stuff only. So, you get the typical beam saber effect parts, 2 of them each. No big deal. Here we have the shield. Once again, very well made. Basic, and yet everything is color separated, no stickers, and we get the shield connected to the arm. So we have the ball joint connections. You can put it either on the side or on the back, and this one actually doesn't have a peg on the inside, but this is more of a clipping mechanism as well. I'm not sure, I can't really say which I prefer, but once again I would say I do still prefer the one with the peg inside, so that you have a much more stable connection. Although that doesn't mean this is loose. And then we get its beam rifle, although they call it a different name here. So it's because it's a shorter, it's basically shorter than the typical or basic beam rifle as well. So once again, it gets the job done. No stickers here at all, because this kit does not actually come with stickers at all. So everything's part separated. And then yeah, the only thing here that's different color is the scope looking thing as well. And then the thing that's unique about it is bazooka here. So once again, it's one of the most thinnest bazooka, and maybe one of the longer type bazookas I've seen in a while. So it's a very simple build. The handle doesn't move, but once again, because of the wrist joint, it's not really necessary. But once again, I think if you're buying this, you're pretty much buying for this bazooka here as well, because as far as I know, there's no other way to get this bazooka. To just give you guys a quick size comparison, so here is, let me get this thing out of the way. We turn it off, and then I believe even the wiki, I think this weapon is mentioned, it's almost tall or even taller than the actual mobile suit itself. So kind of interesting weapon. All right, now this thing does come with some leftover parts. So we do have some polycaps leftovers, no big deal. We've seen these before. And then here we have some parts on the plates. So oops, give me a moment. There we go. So this one I accidentally cut off because I misread the manual, hence cutting this part off, but it's also included in the plate itself. So we have, seems to be based on the strike unit as well. So we have the leg parts, we have the body parts, and then the waist part, back part as well, and so some familiar parts as well. Actually, come to think of it, I don't think, other than the entry grade thing, I don't think I've really tried any HD strike kits, properly, but still, you get my point. Alright, so we've seen the basics of that, so let's see what we got. So as I mentioned before, this thing does not come with any stickers. So this thing, every part separation or color separation you see are all part separated pieces here. So very well done, actually. Alright, so just to be clear, I received this last week, but I wasn't able to upload anything due to my situation at work. But once again, I am back. So yeah, I am technically a week late uploading this. Alright, so let's see what we got for the head. Once again, I absolutely love mass-produced mobile suits, especially the ones with the visors. Once again, red, everything is color separated, and then the reason why these are all separated is because there's actually a big chunk of clear plastic inside the head. So there's like a frame-ish thing going on in the head, hence it connects the visor and the top head camera, and I believe, yes, it also does the back head camera as well. A typical HD kit would usually give you stickers for that, but this has been done very well despite being a mass production type. So it can go down that much. Actually, there we go. Yeah, the neck joint is a little bit on the stiff side, but you can go down that much, and then up that much, and then 360 twist. You can do it, but make sure you're doing this on a certain angle, because I think it's the chin that's getting in the way with the other parts as well. And then once again, we have all these nice details, and then it's Vulcans as well, and the antenna. Now, applying the antenna might be tricky because if you're not careful, you might accidentally break it. And once again, there are safety nubs here. I tried to sand it off almost, but there seems to be a little bit left. So just letting you guys know, and do be careful when you're sanding off the safety nubs, because if you sand it too hard or too much, this can become a little bit weak. So I have that. I do have such experience in the past. All right, so the structure is pretty much identical then as the past. So because you have the ball jointed connected arms, hence the shoulders can go forward and backward with the polycap connected inside. And because it's a ball joint, you can go 360 on the arm, going to the side 90 degrees is still there, 360 twist is still there, and then you have the double jointed bend going on here. So everything works exactly the same. You do have a little bit of an ab crunch, a little bit stiff though on this one for some reason, and then going side to side is not possible. Rotating, it seems like it does move a bit, but because of the way how the structure is, you really can't go 360 because it's more of the blocking its way. And then we have the beam sabers stored in the side skirts. You can take them off because they are connected by a peg, and these connections are actually working very well than I remembered. Now, technically, detail-wise, if you want to be a little bit picky, these are also supposed to open up and reveal like these armor Schneider things, you know, those small blades that the Strike Gundam uses. Now, they are those type of similar weapons supposed to be in there, although the way how these guys use it are slightly different. Instead of using a close combat blade, they actually throw it, and those actually work like bombs. If you played a G Generation game, I think it's either on the PSP or on one of those games as well, there's a map where you have to fight a buttload of these guys that are using the L Striker pack, and they are no joke. They are actually very tough to fight at that point of level. So unless you're like, you know, well prepared, it's kind of tricky. So yeah, those are supposed to be in there, but does not open at all. And then again, even though if they were in there, there's not really much ways to display it properly other than holding in the hands. Oh yeah, speaking of hands, hands are your typical ball jointed hands, and the only hands you get are the multi-purpose hands. So you do not get any open hands, you do not get any of the, whatchamacallit, the trigger finger hand as well. Now front skirts, I left it as well, but once again, if you want to, you are able to, these are one of those ones you can separate them. Back skirt does not move at all, so there's no way. Side skirts does move a little bit to the side, so the legs can go upwards 90 degrees and then bend. Very well done. And then going to the back, not so much because of the back skirt. And going to the side now, because of this, you won't be going 90 degrees, but once again, if you move it like that, rotate it, and then you can move a little bit more if you want to do so. Although unless you're like doing some sort of martial arts pose thing, I'm not sure if you'll be going all the way to the side as well. And feet wise, it's pretty well done. You can go forward and backward. There's an ankle joint there, and then because it's on a ball joint, you do have a nice pivot as well, and then you can kind of rotate the feet if you want to do so, although I don't think there will be any uses for that. And the feet is just a single piece, so there's no toe bend. Now it could be just the color, but I have noticed that because of the color thing, and it feels like the legs are slightly on the long side, but that could be just me. Alright, so I'll be right back with the weapon demonstrations, and we'll end it off there. Okay, I'm back. So let's get rid of the typical stuff out of the way right away. So here we have the first demonstration with the shield and beam rifle. You can't go basic more than this. So the shield works very well. The beam rifle, now in order to attach it, you just need to take off the handguard and then reattach and put the handle inside the hand and then close the handguard again. It's the annoying process, but it works. And once it's in the hand, there's no shaking. There's no way you're gonna pop that out too easily. And then, yes, like the previous one, you do have the hole for the L Striker pack, and then technically, this is, according to the wiki, these are able to use the Sword Strike pack and the Launcher Strike pack. So, although I'm not really sure how well they'll fit in here, I've never tried those, and number one, I don't have those packs as well. Well, technically, they don't really sell those separately, so never really tried it myself. But once again, hopefully, if they release a renewal version, because I know they are working on the striker packs for the entry grade version of the Strike Gundam, so who knows, maybe that'll work. And then for the shield, once again, oh, there we go. I would like to, let me just get the arm here. So the way that how this works is basically it's a clip-on system. So you have to clip it onto the top of the arm section here and then slide it down to lock it in place, because apparently there's like a small groove on the molding that it actually locks it into place a little bit more better than just hanging out on the edge. And because the shield is on a ball joint, you can rotate it around so you can make it go on any direction or angle you want to do so. And despite the beam sabers being on the side skirts, you would think they would get in the way, but they don't really get in the way as much as you think. So far, I had 0 issues with these. Alright, so we've seen the basics. I think it's now time for the main finale, which is this bazooka. And actually, if you want to, regarding the beam saber effect points, you can technically slide these into the barrel, but once again, because the peg is a little bit more larger, it is going to, you are kind of forcing it to go into the barrel, which you might actually bend the end tips here. So, but once again, you can actually cut them off or sand them off a little bit to make it fit, and then to have a nice beam firing effect part if you want to do so. All right, I'll be right back with the bazooka, and then we can end it off there. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the final part. So let's get rid of the beam saber right away. So once again, the beam saber works as pretty much as you expected. It plugs into the hand, although I think the hand hole is a little bit too wider compared to the beam saber hilt. So it might feel a bit loose on the loose side depending on your copy. So that's that. And then here we have the bazooka. So pretty much the only unique aspect of this kit is the bazooka here. So as far as I know, there's no other way to get this bazooka. Now it's a very simple looking bazooka, but at the same time, it's a very slim profile bazooka. I don't think I've seen any other bazooka like this. The only thing I can think of is maybe the Hakushiki's clay bazooka, but once again, while that it has a slim profile, it's not as long as this. It's a short bazooka, and once again, the back is very big. But once again, you get my point. So, and then once again, this is one of those bazookas where the handle is on the side rather than being in the middle. And this also kind of limits the situation where, because the scope does not move at all, you're pretty much probably going to be using this bazooka on your right hand. Well, I have tested it and you can attach it to the left hand, but it may look a little bit awkward because of the scope and the fact that the handle is on this side. But other than that, that is pretty much it for the review, because this is a very simple build. You don't actually have the detachable mag or whatever, so that's that. Now once again, this is pretty much you're getting the same exact Dagger kit, but in black and then with a new bazooka. So is this for everybody? I can't really say so. I just happen to be a fan of mass production type mobile suits, and once again, I do like collecting premium Bandai kits and also some obscure kits at the same time. So which is why I bought it. But once again, by any means, I cannot really recommend this for everybody. If you're already satisfied with the Dagger, your previous HD Dagger, then you're pretty much good to go. There's no reason to actually buy this again. So that's just my 2 cents on that. But if you really want to have the bazooka, or if you're trying to make like a whole army of daggers and you want to have like a special forces or like a special color like version, then go for it. But once again, not really meant for everyone else. But then again, that's the whole point of premium Bandai kits. They're not really meant premium Bandai kits. Most of them are, or they used to be like very obscure mobile suits, or mobile suits that many people never knew about. Anyway, that's pretty much it. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave them comment below. This was a review of the Premium Bandai exclusive HG Dark Dagger L. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out of, so please stay tuned. And if you guys got any questions, do let me know on the comments. Until then, see you guys next time.